Hi everybody, this is Sister Omi, and I'm here to do the full moon reading for the sign of Leo. Now, let's just take a look at Virgo full moon. This is an excellent time to really take responsibility for your health. And when I'm speaking of health, I'm talking about mind, body, and spirit. It's a good time to get grounded. Look at your exercise routine, your overall health. Look at your food, your diet, detox, purification, releasing. Like I said, mind, body, and spirit. And in addition to that, it's just a good time to get organized. And organize, yes, your health and organizing your physical world. So it's like if you need to clear out that closet, reorganize your finances, all things fall into this category. You know what is needed, but this is definitely a Virgo thing. Let's get organized. So let's organize and take clarity and get in order as far as our physical world, our emotional world, and let's get things in sync. Now, something else that's really good at this particular time. Now, the new moon that was on February 4th, which was the Chinese New Year. Excuse me, and if you need to go back and look at that reading, please do. Now, at the Chinese New Year, it was suggested to write down your goals, almost like your New Year's goal. This full moon is a good time to pull that out and fine-tune those goals. Because now you've had a couple weeks to look at it, look at yourself where you're at, evaluate the situation, and see what needs critiquing. Okay? So it's a good time for all of that. So Leo, let's see, what's the first card we got for you? The message from water. This speaks of the search for a perfect balance of strength. You see she's standing tall there, that aristocrat on that. I guess that's like an oyster shell. And she's standing there like the aristocrat, and she's balancing those two horses. But I don't know if you could see it. I'm going to put it up close where on her crown there's 5 stones there. And those stones represent the 5 senses. And her hands and fingers, the 5 continents, along with traveling through water. So it's balancing that water of emotion and finding the perfect strength in balancing your emotions. So with that, you can be triumphant. You have the ability to restore your integrity as thinking, rational being. And in addition to that, all things feel hard, but all things are possible. Especially when you're talking about regaining emotional balance. And it's not necessarily regaining emotional balance. It's keeping emotional balance. Because the water, the tides, and this full moon, maybe you're not sleeping well. Because that usually happens at the full moon. You feel a little uneasy sleeping, or emotions, you're feeling some kind of way. So this is about balancing those 5 senses. Keeping things in order. You look at the 2 seahorses there. Think of it as right brain, left brain. The one, that devil on your shoulder, wants to be rebellious, and the other one wants to do the right thing. So it's balance here that is going to be the key, emotional balance. And as I stated, it's time to bring balance to your emotions, or look at it from make sure you're working with healthy emotions. So only you know where you're at. Okay, so this next card, this is Oshumare, also known as Nanabaraku. And let's look at this upright. Oshumare is used in South America in the Kandu play. Nanabaraku is more so used like in Africa, Cuba, those places. But basically what this is, the storm has moved. The sun is out. There's a rainbow. You've evolved. The snake is shedding its skin. This is in reverse. This is like the world somewhat in reverse. So here, this is about, have you been self-indulgent? Have you been unwilling to make certain changes? Or are you looking at certain things with regret? So these are actions that can, or things that you deal with when your emotions are imbalanced. Now, oh, excuse me, my leg got a cramp in it. All right. Now this next one, Five of Swords, trickery, selfishness, a sense of entitlement. So there's no shortage of disagreements with this particular card. And if it has to deal with your love life, if these are some of the things you're dealing with, you can expect a reconciliation long as it's based on, excuse me, I'm wrong. I'm right when I say trickery, selfishness, disagreement, but this is saying you feel entitled here. You're entitled to have what you want. So if this has to do with your love life, someone is getting used in a relationship. If it has to deal with money, your sense of entitlement is really just making you greedy. And if it has to do with your career, you may deserve advancement, but they're not going to do that because you are boastful and your superiors may think twice about giving you a chance. Now, if this deals with your family, bargaining with them, you may get what you want, but you're going about this in an unhealthy manner. Only you can evaluate that. So, bringing things into emotional balance here. Being self-indulgent. Just being selfish and a sense of entitlement here. Charlotte, this is the crystal that I pulled, and this is wound healing. So with this water, because here you have the message from water, Oshumare, although this is about transmuting, Oshumare is water. Because you see here, the storm is past, there's a rainbow. These things don't happen. This is water. So, more water. And this Five of Swords, swords is air, so it's in your mind and your emotions. What are you thinking that got you all emotionally stirred up? So this is talking about wound healing. And this is what this Virgo moon is about. Healing, physically, mentally, and spiritually. So there's a deep physical and emotional healing that needs to take place here. Transmute negative energy, and it converts dis-ease to wellness. Accept this particular situation with grace. This crystal re-energizes, heals, integrates dualities, healing past life, dis-ease carried into your present life. Deep fears could be pervading your being. What are you fearing? take time to take control. Take control. You see that? Remember I said these five, on her crown there's 5 stones. I don't know if you can really see it, but they represent like the 5 senses, the 5 continents. Your 5 senses is getting control of all that so you can maintain that emotional balance, that right brain, left brain activity. Here, instead of being self-indulgent, you could change this into a resolution for achievement. But it's up to you to turn this around. With this, that sense of entitlement, selfishness, is that all motivated by some old wounds or some old emotions that you're holding on to at this time? So, in accepting the present moment as perfect, you create a space to heal. Now, this particular crystal represents all the chakras. And this is of a high frequency. So with that this is all the chakras, maybe there's some small things that you could start initiating, like exercising, drinking clean water. And as I said, with this Virgo full moon, how do we ground our health or take responsibility for our health? Maybe like a detox, purification, release, find a way to get that emotional release. Everyone knows where they're at, so you have to find what's good, what's going to work for you. But in doing so, it's going to make a difference in your life for the duration. Now, this is the cedar tree. Now, the one thing about the cedar tree, besides it makes great lasting furniture, it does not decay in the winter or fall. So know that your soul is protected. You can emerge from a dark situation into the light, but you're going to have to be able to do the work and do it for the duration. So it's up to you. So what does it say here? Evergreen durability, enduring perseverance, bring your wishes to, evergreen durability, enduring perseverance, and limitless light, bring your wishes to fulfillment. Duration. So, get your emotions in control. Whatever it is you're unwilling to do, it's time to change that self-involvement, that sense of entitlement. Remove all that. Do some wound healing. And if you do that wound healing for the duration, that's going to really help turn this situation around. And what I find, or what I see here, nobody probably knows you think or feel any of this stuff. This is all an inside job. It's all inside. No one knows. Except for here, if you are subject to that trickery, entitlement, if it's going to affect your job, depending on what you're communicating and how you're vibrationally being perceived. Now, I pulled a chakra card. Listen. Now, this is let me adjust this. Let me see if I can get the whole card in there. Okay, so listening. This is the throat chakra. This is how you communicate your feelings, your creativity. Do you speak up? And this is about releasing, breathing, life force, healing, all those things. So, in pulling this card, it's saying take note and listen. Messages and guidance come in many forms, and you are being asked to stop for a moment and listen to the wisdom that's coming your way. Now, with this though, just realize Your angel guides are sharing thoughts with you at this time, but are they the ones you're listening to? It's almost like looking at this card and you think of the good angel and the bad angel on your shoulder. Which one are you listening to? And this has to be devoid of ego. And if you look at this, when you just look at how this is depicted, it's like, what's all this stuff? Is this like a whole lot of emotional stuff just stirring and stirring and stirring in your mind, and you're listening to those old tapes that just get played over and over and over, and it's really getting tired, right? So it's a good time to listen probably to that voice that you probably don't listen to. Now, people always have different perceptions and experiences, and it's important to allow both sides of the story to be heard and expressed. When we can understand this and not take people's expressions personally, we can open ourselves up to unconditional love and communicate more from a place of love and understanding. And what also was good at this time, it's a good time to meditate and explore the silence in order to hear the powerful words of the divine guidance that's already within you. So can you sit and be quiet? And that's the good thing. One thing about activating this throat chakra, this is a good time to meditate, maybe journal, just be quiet, or listen to soothing music. Like meditation, everyone, some people, that's not their thing. So maybe if you're doing maybe some yoga or something like that, drinking some herbal teas, or just take time to just sit and be quiet. Chant, maybe, because you want to quiet that voice. So if you're chanting, you're not listening to the voice. That's all this stuff going on. You're just bringing that mind a little quiet. The next chakra card here is I have complacency, and this is the root chakra. This is your body, your knees. How do you feel safe? Your actions, are they grounded? Your physical energy. Have you just become complacent because you feel entitled? Have you become complacent out of self-involvement? Have you become complacent due to emotional instability? Have you become complacent because you feel wounded, or there's just things you just don't want to face? So with this other card, that listening, definitely listen more to that voice inside of you. It's almost like if you look at this, there's like a shadow around you. And that shadow, I'm going to go back to that good angel and bad angel. Which voice are you listening to? But with this complacency, this is about really taking the moment and just be daring. It's the time to be daring. Reclaim your life here. Life force energy must be taken seriously. Are you standing tall in your own dreams, or are you trying to build on someone else's? Sadness and inability to disassociate from a lost dream can show up here. So it's time to walk away from anything that does not deeply resonate within you. Release and be free. It's like you even look, the trees are barren. There's no life, really. I mean, are you, not to say you're working, you're doing everything, or you just, what's going to bring you life here? This is that root chakra. So if I can make a suggestion here, like we said, get grounded. So if you could go outside, put your feet in the dirt, and if you can't put your feet in the dirt, maybe pot a plant. And getting grounded as far as your health. Get out and exercise. exercise, and do some yoga. And this can firm your base or work that core chakra. But yoga would be definitely good because that's your base. That's keeping your foundation secure. Eating protein, root vegetables. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Exercise. Just exercise. That'll help raise your vibration within itself. So, looking at this, to turn things around, let's exercise, disrupt the complacency, exercise, eating root vegetables here. In addition to this, your throat chakra, meditating, journaling, chanting, that'll quiet those inner voices so you could just be quiet and listen. Examine what wounds need to be healed. What stuff are you holding on to that just really doesn't fit into your life right now? That goes on with this complacency. You have decided to just hold on to it. And whatever, if you make some of these changes, be ready to make them for the duration here. We're talking long-term life changes that you want to make so that the rest of your life can be full of joy, not looking like these barren trees and wilted plants here. Right here, that sense of entitlement, that selfishness, or doing things with trickery. Come on, we want to turn that around and come up with a resolution for understanding and forgiveness here. With this, looking back on your life with whatever regrets you may have, whatever, all that self-involvement, you want to turn this around and come up with you want to turn this around and come up with a resolution for achievement. And what you want to achieve here is emotional stability and balance. So even with all these cards here, with this, and looking at this card in particular with this wounded healing, the charcoal light, this wounded healing, making sure you're, with all this water and emotion here, making sure you're drinking good clean water. That's another way to detox and purify your body. Drinking good water to bring yourself back in emotional balance. And going back to the 5 senses here, the 5 stones here representing the 5 senses. Now going back to this root chakra, your physical energy, your body, get some physical energy. Exercise, eat root vegetables, yoga, that is to build your foundation, that body, that firm base. That second chakra, which is your emotions, maybe eating oranges, walking, doing more cardiovascular. That third chakra, that mental energy, and that's what we're dealing here with, that selfishness and trickery and that sense of entitlement. With this third chakra, get out in the sun, walk, drink lemonade, and to open your heart up, eating plenty of green leafy vegetables, cardiovascular exercise. We got that communication chakra. To activate this, maybe just sit, be quiet, and chant. Do journaling. Drink herbal teas that will stimulate the throat. And your visual chakra, that brow chakra, maybe paint. Go to an art gallery. Do something different that's going to help you see things from a different perspective. And that crown chakra, like I said earlier, drinking plenty of water, maybe eating intermittent fasting, or just make sure you eliminate all that processed food. And this is going to help bring yourself back into some emotional balance here. All right? So Leo, now what I do, Leo, is I pulled a card to get a message from Spirit. And the card that I pulled for you is, what is this? The Seven of Cups. Yeah. Close your eyes and envision all the resources you need. You have the power to summon amazing gifts and opportunities. You have a chance to hone your multitasking and management skills. Don't become overwhelmed by your thoughts or distracted by the hustle and bustle of the world. So this is about opportunity you have here. You have the opportunity to change whatever situation that you're in. And the message from Spirit with this Seven of Cups is persevere in your projects and in your desires, having first thought them through and keeping your feet on the ground. Oh, is that what I just said? Is that what I said? So that you could persevere. Let's balance those emotions. Like she has to, right here, start balancing is work on all your chakras. And you could just take minor steps. I say overall, try to get some cardiovascular exercise, making sure you're drinking clean water, maybe intermittent fasting, and get out in the sun. If you could do that, drink herbal teas when you're drinking a lot of the fluids. Here, you want to turn this around, that self-involvement, right? You don't want to have the self-involvement and the regret. Here, that sense of entitlement. The wounded healer, this is also in sync with the message from water. This is signaling you to work all your chakras, and you can transmute that energy. And that energy, long as if you're working it, that in the universe you know you want some change, you can make the changes for the duration. Because remember, that cedar, it doesn't rot, right? So if you listen to all the voices, chant, drink some herbal tea. Make sure you're getting your proper sleep, good exercise, and do all these things to disrupt that complacency. And this is saying you can persevere in whatever projects you desire after you have thought out your plan, which is Virgo, getting yourself organized, mind, body, and spirit, and making sure that you're staying grounded, which is basically this card here, is get grounded. Get grounded, you could do whatever it is that you want to do. All right. So let me know what you think, Leo. Please like, share, subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. This is Sister Omi. Peace.